when you have equal opportunities, you use the whole talent, and that makes the country really also competitive. People think that, oh, isn't that extremely expensive for the state? Don't you have to have very high taxes? The reality is, what is expensive is if you have a system where all children don't have an opportunity to have quality education. Just imagine the talent you lose with such a system. And if you look at, for example, the taxes in Norway on income, they're not much higher than in other states or countries where you have to pay for the school, and there are very divided education system. 99% of children in Finland go to public schools. They have the same opportunities, all children, to have access to quality education. And just imagine what a force this is for a country when we're moving from capitalism to talentism. You're not better than the way you treat your talent, and if you then can give high quality education to all your children, not really use more money than other countries, but you use it strategically, I think this is a model other countries should learn from. One should not forget that many of the Nordic countries were one of the more poor countries in Europe 100 years ago. So the Nordics started to have a universal free education at least 100 years ago for all children. Then there was a big focus on anti-corruption, so the corruption level is very, very low. Then one also included women in the workforce much more than in other countries. And of course, if you have 70–80% of the population being part of the workforce, you also produce more, then you can better pay also for free education, free high quality health care. It is not such a big problem in the Nordic countries because people know that they have a safety system, then they look for another job, and that also changes the structure of the economy much faster. So if a company has to lay off people, it can make the structural changes, and people are not that negative to it. And you know, when you're faced with the fourth industrial revolution, you also have to change sometimes. You cannot stop the changes because that can negatively impact your competitiveness, but that's much easier to do if you have a safety system. So I think it is really interesting to see that something that can be seen as a disadvantage is really an advantage also for competitiveness for these economies, provided they do it right. As a Norwegian, I'm not objective, but when Norway celebrates its National Day on 17th of May, there is no military to be seen. There are children in primary school in the streets with the national flag, national costume, celebrating the National Day. It's just a celebration of values, freedom of speech, democracy, also inclusiveness, and I think this is the positive way of bringing a country together. You can be proud of your country, but you know, not this beggar your neighbor approach. You should not beggar your neighbor. You should prosper your neighbor, and that's also good for you.